All right, one of the more interesting titles shown at Microsoft's media briefing today was Ascend, and we had a lot of questions from seeing that trailer because it told us next to nothing about it. So we thought we'd grab this man. Caesar, what is Ascend?
At its core, Ascend is a action RPG from Signal Studios, the makers of Toy Soldiers, Cold War, and Toy Soldiers. It's set in a brutal, very mystical world where you play as a half-giant race known as a Chaos. You align yourself with one of three gods, the god of light, god of darkness, or the god of void. And your goal is to take on quests for your god to increase their dominion, power, and overall just dominion over the land. Throughout gameplay, you're going to take on quests, you're going to level up your character, earn new items, abilities, powers. In-game store allows you to buy customizations, new weapons, upgrades, all that good stuff. What's really cool about it is this notion of parallel multiplayer. So as you're taking on these quests for your god, reclaiming villages and all the other stuff, is you will see other real players out there in the gaming world, ghosted in the actual game. You can leave them alone or you can interact with them, and that actually can help you. So for example, if you see another player who's aligned with a rival god, you can choose to send a curse to them, and when you send that curse to them and that curse does damage to them, you're going to earn experience and in-game currency. So it's a way for you to interact in a very parallel way to other players in the game.
And how is the world? Is it open? Is it sort of like when you take a quest, you're set down in a specific area and you've got to walk about that area? How does that work?
Great question. The game is generally gated by dominion. So for example, you're going to progress so far and you're going to probably come to a door and you'll have to reach a certain level of dominion for your god in order to unlock that door. So you'll go and you'll tear down a shrine and raise a new shrine to your god, which actually transforms the land to reflect which god that land is aligned with at that point. So that's how we sort of gate the various areas. But it is a very expansive world. There's lots of places to explore. There's certain dungeons that are only accessible to certain alignments or that require a certain amount of dominion. And inside those dungeons, you're going to find all sorts of cool items and currency, items and powers that you can add to your character.
So at the start of the game, and then are you given the option of which god to follow per se?
Yep, exactly. So there's basically 3 progression paths in total. Again, light, darkness, and void. So if you wanted to be the ultimate powerful character, you would want to go through each of those progression paths and earn all the powers, abilities, and items for that god. And the interesting thing is the reason why it's called Ascend is that the way you progress is by kind of making the ultimate sacrifice, by giving up your character to your god. So at points in the game, you'll have the opportunity to ascend your character, which means they'll be donated to your god, who will then send that player character out into the world as an AI-controlled player boss, who will then be out reclaiming villages and defeating players and doing all sorts of stuff, earning you money and experience at the same time. So in the ideal situation, you will go through the game and ascend multiple characters, and you'll have a lot of versions of your former selves out there in the world earning you experience and in-game currency.
So that means then another player coming into the world, if you've ranked up, leveled up your characters, you might have a completely kick-ass army that another player will just get annihilated by?
Well, the game world will level up with you. We're not going to have someone who's like, way far up in the meta progression go against a new guy. So it will be balanced. But yeah, exactly. So let's say I've ascended a character, you're in there playing. If we're roughly in the same ballpark in terms of level, and you go into an area that's controlled by a rival god, he might send me into your game world to fight you, and you'll see it's me.
And real-time combats, yes?
No real-time synchronous combat multiplayer. It's asynchronous. It's asynchronous player battles with AI-controlled players, and also parallel interactions. Cross-game with curses and blessings. And another really cool component is we have a Windows Phone version of Ascend, which is more of a, very much a hack and slash experience. But with that, though, you're actually earning currency and experience that will carry back over to your core game. So you can actually beef up your character that adds to your meta progression.
Well, this seems like it's almost limitless gameplay, because if you can just keep leveling up characters and then sticking them out to the game world.
Exactly, yeah. So I mean, literally you could play through the game probably 20, 30 times all the way through if you wanted to get the maximum power. If you want to earn all the abilities, all the powers, all the skills, that's what you want to do.
And Shell, sort of wrapping up, when should players expect the game to be released?
Well, we don't have the exact date nailed down yet, but we'll say like early next year is what we're targeting right now.
Listen, thank you very much indeed for taking the time. Look forward to playing it.